Hey friends, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, and it is Friday the 10th of December, and this is video number
58.
Right on cue. I know it's been a while since I videoed. I was hoping to do one middle of the week, but we have been crazy busy, like something every night. And for an old lady like me, I need more rest. I do try to take a nap every day, even if it's just a power nap. But anyway, that's all beside the point. So we had my husband's daughter, his oldest daughter, who lives in Kansas City, and her husband came to visit for a long weekend. So that was fun, because she's half sister. Sister and brother from the same mister. Anyway, they have the same father, but different mothers. So it was good for them to be around their half sister. And so we went out to eat a bunch. My grandson had a baseball tournament with four games. So we went to all that. They ended up winning the whole tournament. They got rings with Santa Claus. It was really cute. We went to Chris Tomlin, who's a Christian artist. We went to a concert at our church with him. We had kids' Christmas programs at their school. What else? Just a lot of stuff going on. So I wasn't able to video my normal one, which would have been last Saturday, and I had hoped to do one middle of the week, but I was exhausted. And I kept thinking, now, what am I going to show? This is always my issue. What am I going to show? So when I actually gather stuff together, it always ends up, I have enough, I guess. I don't know. Thank you for your great response to my Christmas Smalls video number 57. It was ranked as one of my best videos ever. So I don't know what to say other than thank you. So thank you for all the people that watch. I have had a couple of questions I thought I'd go ahead and answer in the comments. One is, how do you stitch? Do you use a hoop, Q-snaps, frame? No, none of the above. I stitch in hand. I've been sewing since I was, 6 years old. And I'm right-handed, so a sewing motion is just the easiest for me. At one time, I did use a hoop, and it was one of my biggest samplers, one of my bigger samplers that I did years ago. And it's with DMC, and I was doing the half, cross, and then come back. And I thought to myself, I think this would be faster if I just cross each one and stitch in hand without the hoop. So yes, I do cross each X as I go, regardless whether it's silk, DMC, fancy floss, whatever. I cross each one. And I stitch in hand with the sewing method. So no hoop for me. Now, occasionally if I have over one, I will use a small hoop because I think it separates the threads of the linen good enough that you can see your over one stitching better. That's the only time. I've also done over one without a hoop, so I can do both. But if I have a lot of over one to do, I usually will use a small hoop. And that's one of the reasons for me it takes longer to do over one, because I'm going in and out, in and out. So anyway, what I have planned to show you today, I have some past finishes. I have what I've been finishing. I have some haul, and then I have what I'd love to stitch in the next 2 weeks before Christmas. I think Christmas is Christmas Eve is 2 weeks from today. Today's the 10th. So 14 more days would be Christmas Eve. So it's fast approaching. And I still have a gift. Well, I have 2 gifts that I need to finish. One I haven't even started. That was the other thing. I have been stitching. There were a couple nights when we were so busy that I did not stitch at all. But for the most part, I have still been stitching in the evening, which is my normal time to stitch. I think what I'm going to do next time, I'm going to try to come back in a week so I kind of get back onto schedule. And what I think I'm going to do next time is to show you samplers that are on my radar for 2022, including some maybe whips and or whatever I've been stitching in the next week. So that won't be a whole lot, but anyway. And then I'm going to show you Christmas quilts. I have a number of Christmas quilts, and so I will show those next week, Friday or Saturday, whenever I come back. So anyway, so this is kind of Christmas past, present, and future. So let's start with Christmas present and show you some of the things that I stitched this past, no, it's not all Christmas, but some of the things I stitched this past 3 weeks, actually, since I did a video. So the first thing I finished, and this was not started this year, but this was finished, and that is the Prairie Schooler. This is done on 7 count Claustern in the color Sand. It's by Prairie Schooler. I didn't write down what year Prairie Schooler this was. It's done with number 3 pearl cotton. I did use Whisper, which is kind of a fuzzy thread or fuzzy whatever. It's not really pearl cotton, but it's fuzzy, and I use that on the beard, but not on the rest of the white. I got this kit originally from Shepherd's Bush in Utah, and I actually bought a couple other of these kits. I will make this into a pillow. It's all DMC pearl cotton with the exception of the red, which is Weeks. Pearl cotton number 3. And I would have finished it sooner, but I had to reorder. I ran out of the brown. Not sure why, but I did run out of the brown. Maybe how I stitch, I don't know. So I had to reorder, and I just got that in yesterday, so I finished this last night. Prairie Schooler Santa, done on the 7 count sand Claustern. So that's a finish, and I am going to make it into a pillow. I don't know if I'll put like cotton or fabric covered cording around it, or whether I don't know. I don't know what I'll do to finish it. And there's another thing. Did I not grab it? Oh, shoot. I don't think I grabbed it. Anyway, I have another pillow that I did that I was going to show you. What else did I work on? I think I showed you this last time. This is Santa's Tree Farm by With Thy Needle and Thread, aka Brenda Gervais. I finished this and fully finished it. Now, I said I was going to stain this. I didn't do that. And it actually calls for, so it is an ornament. I put the red ribbon so you can hang it as an ornament. I used all of the called for because this originally was a kit from Brenda. It tells you to put scrapbooking paper on the back. I don't scrapbook, so I don't have any Christmas scrapbooking paper. This is just like construction paper. But I could easily put something more decorative that's Christmas if I get some over it, because I just glued that on. I did take the edges, when I folded the edges back, first I centered it. Will you hand me that pillow that's over there? The snowman one. It's on the chair. Is it not on the chair?
Here? No.
Oh, I must have grabbed it, but I don't know what I do with it. Okay, sideline, never mind. Anyway, I fold the edges back, and then I do like a basting stitch around the edges that stick up, so that draws it all in. And then I put just a tad bit of batting in it, not batting, fiberfill, so it gets a little bit of a poofy, not a lot, but just a little bit.
Poofy, smell that.
And then I just glued this on the back. So I finished that one. And I don't know if I showed this last time finished. Thank you. Or not. But I finished this one. This is Holiday Hoopla, also by Brenda Gervais. Holiday Hoopla with a needle and thread. Also was a kit, so this is all of the called for. And again, I did it the same way. Just ran a running stitch around whatever sticks back. You know, I trimmed it so I had like an inch. And then ran running stitch around with just regular thread, drew that up so it stays nice and tidy. And again, I have a small tree on the fireplace hearth in my long arm room. And so I hang all the kind of handmade type Christmas ornaments. I'll show you a few more in my portion of Christmas past. And then I also started and finished this one, also by Brenda Gervais. You're supposed to use beads, and I didn't have any, and I didn't want to make a trip. I mean, these are beads, but they're not the right kind. They should be like a smaller little bead. But I didn't, sorry for the reflection. I didn't really want to go to Hobby Lobby just for some beads when I could use these. And this was also a kit. It's called Jack Frost. And I finished it. It did not have the threads and the linen in it. I'm not sure what I used. I think it could be Brenda's Brew. I used whatever it calls for, even though it wasn't a kit. But it did come with, the kit came with the plastic for the ornament. Again, I just used that same construction paper. So the kit came with the ornament, the pattern, the 2 pieces of cardboard that you use back here. Again, drew it up the same way. And then it came with the hanger. I'm not sure if I did the hanger the right way. It maybe is supposed to be with the swirly side on the bottom. I don't know, but that's how I did it. Jack Frost by With a Needle and Thread. So those all got finished and FFO'd, except the pillow. I'll be doing that sometime soon. The other thing I worked on, I can't show because it's a secret gift, and it has already, I think, arrived. So it's a FaceTime group that I'm in with some other floss tubers, and we do an exchange. We have one of our names are exchanged, and then I think we're gonna open on a FaceTime call on the 21st. So I was really nervous about getting it. So I was madly, it's words are kind of difficult today. But you know what's not difficult? I finally have a straight part in my hair. I have had so many videos, and I'll watch them later, and I'm thinking, do you not have a comb to make a straight part in your hair? I mean, when I was a kid, that was a big thing, especially boys. You know, you had to have exactly a straight part when you did your hair. I've also been told by my hairdresser, and more than one hairdresser, that I part my hair on the wrong side. I'm like, is there a right side or a wrong side? I part mine on the right side. I guess most people part their hair on the left side if they're going to do an off-center part. When I was in high school, everybody parted it down the middle. That is like way too much information. I just wanted you to know that I actually have my part is straight today. I do have a comb. Anyway, where was I? I was madly stitching this gift, and I was in such a hurry to get it mailed that I forgot to take a picture of it. But hopefully when the person gets it, they'll take a picture and send it, and I can also show you the pattern. But that'll be after Christmas that I can show that. I have another gift that I'm working on, and that my sister already knows about this. So years ago, and I've showed this before, my sister did this for me, framed everything. It's called Moon Garden. It is a Blackbird Designs Loose Feathers number 8. Yes, number 8, called Moon Garden. It was kitted. And the original kit came with 18th Century Rook, 28 count, by R&R, and the called for. Now the interesting thing is she used her kit to make mine, and I'm using my kit to make hers because obviously I'm not going to stitch it again for myself. But let me show you the difference. First of all, she used the wrong side of the linen. The opposite side. It's not really right or wrong. There's not a right or wrong side with linen. So she used this, and I'm using I'm using the darker linen. You can't really tell a big difference. But this is where I am on that. So I've been stitching on this. I had a little bit of it done like up here, and I've been stitching all of this. There's a lot of, but I was looking at her stitches and I'm like, her stitches are much prettier than mine. Whatever. She's going to have to appreciate what she gets. So within this pattern, there's an alphabet along the side. And what she did, it's not super noticeable, so I'm going to make it a little more noticeable. But we're 4 kids in my family. My brother was boy, girl. So it was my oldest brother, me, my younger brother who passed away years ago, and then my sister. So she, like the B, the C, the D, and the R are all our first name initials. So she did those in a little bit different color. But it's kind of hard to tell on hers, which is a different color. You can see the B, C, and D are a little different. But my threads for this project are quite a bit like this one is Willow by Gentle Art. Now, we would have gotten our kits at the exact same time, so it's not like an older dye lot. But mine is much more yellow, this one, Willow. And you can see hers, this here, is much more kind of a vanilla color versus mine is much more yellow. Can you tell the difference? I don't know, maybe you can't even tell the difference, but up close you can. So anyway, I've been working on that. I definitely want to get it sent to her so she can open it by Christmas. So I have to finish this in the next week. My husband said he thinks he can make me a frame for it. Or I'm going to go see if I can buy something. I thought about unframing mine and reframing hers in that frame. And then he can make me a separate frame with no pressure to do it before Christmas. But I don't know. I hate to take apart something that's already framed, but on the other hand, the foam core and everything would be perfect size, so I might, I don't know. So anyway, that's a gift I've been stitching. And normally I have that on my Blackbird wall in my sewing room, not my long arm room, my sewing room, which is where my machine, my stitchy spot, all of that is. And the only other thing I've been stitching was for Black November. Second here. And that is my Grimshaw by the Scarlet Letter. So I picked this up after Thanksgiving because I thought, well, I want to do a little bit of, I don't know when I picked it up. It might have been a little bit before Thanksgiving. That was another thing. We had Thanksgiving in there because the last time I videoed, I remember saying, hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving. So it's just been eventful, which Christmas always is. It's not a big surprise. So anyway, by the Scarlet Letter and Grimshaw 1818. So when I picked this up, and I'm doing this on 36 count pecan butter or butter pecan. What's it actually called? I always call it the other way around. Pecan butter. Nut first. As in pecans. Some people say pecans. Some people say pecans. I say pecans. Pronounce it however you want. It's pecan butter. Anyway, So I picked it up, and when I picked it up, I realized that I had messed up. Well, here's what I have done. I'll show you that first. Then I realized that these two were completely wrong from about here over. So I took like a couple nights to completely unstitch that because it would have thrown the side off, and I'm not really a perfectionist. There are some things that I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna let it go. But a lot of things I want them done correctly. I don't know. It's just me. I would rather take the time to pick something out than try to figure out how to make it work. To me, it's more work, more difficult to try to figure out how I can make it work than it is to just spend a few. Plus, I stitch in hand and I cross every X. So picking out for me is easier than if I stitched all the way across and back and up and down and all over the place. So for that respect, to me, it's easier to take it out. So anyway, and then to do a little bit of mindless stitching, I went ahead and did this outline of the motif and this outline of the motif and this. And I am carefully calculating if I'm correct in my counting. That's the only thing with Quaker to me. Even though they're separate motifs, if you get off by 2 or 3 stitches and it pushes one over, it can be kind of hard. So I went back and I completely recounted the top line of here, and that's how I knew I was off from here over. So anyway, I really enjoyed working on this, and I definitely want to get back to it. I may spend the week after Christmas working on this. So I'm using 36 count pecan butter, and I'm using Gloriana Antique Black. So that is Christmas present, what I've been stitching. And now let's look at Christmas past. I don't know, that's how the movie Christmas Carol, I don't know. I need to watch that. I have like a few go-to movies that I watch every year. White Christmas, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. Holiday Inn, which is Bing Crosby and what's his name? Real thin dancer, well known. So that's Holiday Inn. Wonderful Life. I always have to watch Wonderful Life every year. I know I've watched it 100 times. I don't care. I watch it every year. And then Christmas Carol, and if I get to it, Miracle on 34th Street, the old one. I like that better. And so now you know about my hair, and you know about my lineup of movies to watch for Christmas. So that's just me. Okay, this is a kit that I got years ago, and I stitched it years ago. So the kit is by Heart's Content. There are 3 charts in here. Maureen Appleton was the designer, or maybe still is the designer. I think you might be able to still get hers. This is the one I'm going to show you. I still have it. It's I want to say it's 28 count something. There's a couple different linens. One of them is like an oatmeal something. It's all stitched with DMC, and she sent them all with these little tiny tags with the numbers. I have a number of her kits, but this is one of, I think I've done like 2 or 3 of them. So here it is. It's on a candlestick. I think the candlesticks were by Sudbury House, but I'm not 100% sure. So this is all over 1. Maybe this is why I don't like over 1 anymore. I did too much of it in the past. Christmas is God's love with the church, and yeah. I get it out every year. I love it. But like I said, it's all over one. I think at the time I thought that was really fun. I guess that was a crazy part of my life. Anyway, I still love it. It's fun. This is a Plum Street one that I did years ago, and I've done this within the last 5 or 6 years, but I couldn't find the pattern, so I'm not sure the name of it. Love that one. Now this is really old school. I'm not sure where I even got, I usually get these, I couldn't find them this year. I was like, I have like 3 or 4 places because we don't have basements. So you gotta either have storage unit, which I do have some stuff in storage unit, but then you gotta like, okay, I gotta plan a trip, go through boxes. So I'd rather store it here in the house, especially Christmas things, because I've had issues where, and I'll show you a few things Christmas past that they got destroyed. Well, or damaged. But anyway, I made these, I think this was out of some sort of a just cross stitch or something. So the towels have the little inset, and I did Santa in the green towel, and I did the tree and the Krynit Gold Star on the red towel. And I usually put them out at Christmas time in the bathroom and hope that nobody really uses them because I don't want to have to wash them. Okay, so that's part of Christmas past. Here's a few more ornaments that I did. Years ago, there was a company called Creative Circle, I believe was the name of it, and they had kits. And I know I started cross-stitching in, I think, 1980, but this one I did in 1981. I know a lot of you were still in diapers back then, but I wasn't. But you can see there's damage. So some stuff had gotten wet, and it has this like these little plastic, you know, it's very crudely done, but it represents a time when I was 30 years ago, 30 years old, 40 years ago. So I did that one. I also did this one, Holiday Greetings. I did this one, and this one does have some, I don't know if it got wet or corrosion, whatever it is. This was on like 22 count Ada, I think. But you can see it's, I guess I need to try to reframe them, but some of that is just the beauty of it. So I did all these in the early 80s, and I had more, but they were damaged. There was a Christmas box at one time that got wet, and so I had a bell pull that had Glory to God in the Highest, and then it had a manger scene. That's completely destroyed. I think I still have it because I like could not give it up. I even did some needlepoint. This is one of them. I did a couple of them. 1981. Again, those same kits. You do it in square, and then you fold the corners in and then stitch the back. Years ago, years and years ago. This is one that I had framed. Last year, I think I showed it to you framed. This is a Blackbird. I actually have the size on here in case I took it somewhere to get it framed, or if I had my husband make a frame. This is by Blackbird. Whatever the name of it is, it has one of their relatives on it. This would be my grandfather's mother, so my great-grandmother, Laura Fields. And I really, in the past, I had it in this frame, but it was way too big, and it really bothered me because it needs to be framed tighter. So maybe this year I'll get it framed. I don't know. I have so much so many things that need to be framed, and in the meantime I buy kits and stuff. But I do need to take some time to have some things framed. This is a Peace and Goodwill sampler by Chessie and Me, Linda Lachenschlager, and it actually has over one, but I changed it and I just put Peace and Goodwill. So I didn't really want to, whoops, I'm showing you the back side. I didn't really want to do over one on the small, but I love it. It's fun. I may have gotten this kit at Country Sampler. I'm not sure. But another one that I need to frame. Beautiful red house. This is another one that I think, let me ponder this for a minute. I think it's either Samplers Not Forgotten or Samplers Remembered. I'm kind of leaning toward thinking it's Samplers Remembered. Again, it was a kit that I got from Country Sampler. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I did not get out the pattern. I love the poinsettia flowers. I guess that's what, I don't know what they are. I could not tell you. People say, oh, it's a pretty strawberry border. It's like, oh, those are strawberries. Or, oh, it's a beautiful Tudor rose border. I'm like, oh, those are roses. I just stitch them. I couldn't tell you. I've told you I can't identify. I can identify an animal if it's in real life. Go to the zoo. I know which are the elephants, the giraffes, the tigers, the lions. I know all that. But if it's a drawing or a line drawing, no, obviously I could tell a whale from a lion. I mean, I'm not that dumb, but sometimes I'll be like, okay, is that a dog or is that a cat? I don't know. It's something wrong with my brain, but you already knew all that. That is nothing new. Anyway, okay, enough silliness. This is, I want to say it's Farmhouse Christmas. Could that be right? Maybe. And I think it's by Samplers Remembered. Let's go with that. But I definitely got it from Country Sampler. I know that. That part I know. I don't think I showed you this one. I just recently stuck this in a frame. I may decide to paint the frame. This is This is another with the needle and thread, but I'm not sure the pattern. I want to say it's St. Nick something, but it fit in the frame really well, I thought. So I'm definitely, this is like a salvaged frame. There was something else in here. So for now, it's just stuck in a frame. I've told you there's professionally framed, there's ones that I've framed, and then they're stuck in a frame. Those are my three categories of framing. Obviously, the ones professionally framed are the best. So I want to say this is something that the name has to do with St. Nick. Again, go to Country Stitches online. I think her shop is open. She does periodically close it. She's one person, you know. I think sometimes we're too hard on these people that are just one person. So anyway, that's part of Christmas Past. Not sure when I did that, a while ago. I'm going to show you things that have been given to me in the past, so I definitely do not know the pattern or the designers. I can guess on a few of them, but I don't. This was a gift from somebody in my stitching group, and it says, wish you a Merry Christmas. This kind of looks like shepherd's bush, and I think this person really likes shepherd's bush, so I want to say that was, so it's finished in a pillow. Sometimes I hang this, you know, on a doorknob or something. So thank you, Karen. You stitched that one. This one and I think this one were both gifted to me by a gal by, her name is Sue. We call her Subi. She does a lot of country cottage and little house, or she used to do a lot more. I think she's more into she's doing some Hands Across the Sea and some samplers lately. She moved, so she won't be with us this year. And this one, both of these were done by her. And I want to say, I just want to say they were either Country Cottage or Little House. This one is done on, it's an even weave. Not sure which one, what it is. And this one is done on the same even weave. Oops. Isn't that a cute way to do a hanger? Just put a piece of ribbon when you stitch it. Another one that was done by someone in my stitchy group. Thank you, Mary Ann. And this is a with thy needle and thread. I do know that. You know, I almost got this out to stitch it because I have it. And then I started getting out decorations and I thought, oh, I have them. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Okay, I'll have to tell you a funny story. So, one more. Wait, let me show you one more and then I'll tell you the story. This one's plum pudding. I want to say this is a JBW maybe. And I love this one. It's adorable. And it says velvet on the back. Velveteen on the back. So, in getting ready for our company, my husband and I were on this like deep cleaning thing. So he was in the bedroom. I mean, we were vacuuming walls. I mean, we were like deep cleaning, especially in my bedroom. I don't dust there as much as I should. I wanted to say I hadn't dusted for a month of Sundays, but that would be 31 days of 31 weeks. I think I had dusted prior, you know, more often than that. But either way, it was pretty dusty because we use ceiling fans all the time. So all you're doing is spinning the dust around. Anyway, so I'm in the kitchen and I'm cleaning and my brain, this is kind of scary. My brain just like sits down on me. So I picked up the broom and I picked up the item that goes with the broom that you sweep the stuff into. I could not think of what it was called. I kept thinking spatula. I'm like, I know this isn't a spatula. So my husband was in another room and I took it in there and I said, what is this called? And he goes, a dustpan? Okay. Don't think by any stretch of the imagination that I will ever live that down. Because if I have a moment of, what's that girl's name? Or one of those, he says, dustpan? Forever, forever, forever. It will be dustpan. It kind of scared me because it was like, okay, I know this. That's like when I couldn't think of paperclip. You know, those obscure things we don't use very often, you know, like a dustpan and paperclip. Here's another Christmas past. This is embroidery. This is just hilarious because Susan Aki, who is Yard Girl, and I had hoped to get together with her because I want to put her on one of my videos and I haven't done it yet. And we've just been so busy. Hopefully things are going to slow down a little bit. But anyway, so I would do her long arm quilting and sometimes she would barter and she would do stuff for me. Well, I had a couple stitchery pieces that I wanted to have them made into pillows. And I can do it. I just didn't want to have to hassle with it. So I said, well, you make these into pillows and I'll trade you, you know, for each one you do, I'll do your quilting on a quilt. Oh, yeah, great. She was in her ruffle phase. I mean, everything in her house had ruffles. Everything. So she did this for me. This is the stitching. This is by a gal that was called I Done My Best, and she did all these like embroidery. You do it on muslin. She used to put however many kids or grandkids she had by the number of X's in their hearts. So yes, Susan Aki did this, and it's full of ruffles. So I was looking at it the other day and I told my husband, I said, I think I'm gonna take that apart and just do a simple pillow because at the time I was like, oh, it's great, thanks. But I don't really do ruffles. But I do love this pillow, and I get it out every year for Christmas. Just says Frosty. And like I said, the gal's name was I Done My Best. And some of them she kitted with the linen. And then it's just done with DMC. She did a lot of French knots, like the stars that I did here are all French knots. Let me see if I can get it in the camera. It was very fun. It's cute. I don't do very much embroidery anymore, but at the time that was fun. So the other two pieces I'm going to show you Christmas past are not really Christmas, but I kind of think they look Christmas. They're on a different sampler wall. This is France's Pool by With Thy Needle and Thread. It's one of my very favorites. I had it framed in green, not sure why. If I did it over again, I would have it done in like a brown tone, but anyway, it is what it is. It's one of my very favorites. I love it. France's Pool by With Thy Needle and Thread. I think I've had it on this wall in the past, but so that one to me, it reminds me of Christmas. I showed you some other frame pieces last time. This is Mary Betchel. Also, this is by the Scarlet House, also done in a lot of red and green. I don't remember the linens I used. This one looks like maybe an Old Town blend or something. It's a lot more tan than it shows in the picture. And this one is more cream. Mary Betchel, Scarlet House, France's Pool, With Thy Needle and Thread. Okay, so then I'm going to show you a few things that I got. Happy Mail? I don't know. Mail? I think my husband sent another package over there, so I don't know what that is. Oh, I know what it is. It's a gift for somebody for Christmas. So I'm participating in the Kitten Stitcher 25 Days of Advent. I was so busy, I didn't even start until like the 6th. So I still haven't opened the 9th, and then today's the 10th. So I'm trying to catch up. So the first like 5 I opened all at once because I was behind. I don't know if I showed you this last time or not. I may have. This Happy Morning was an exclusive by Plum Street through Country Sampler. It was offered in 2 different color waves. One was the darker hog bristle. No, this one's hog bristle. It was a darker fabric by Fox and Rabbit, but they were out of that. I think I showed this last time. Anyway, this Happy Morning, Plum Street, kitted by Country Sampler. I think they're going to do more after the first of the year. So if you're interested in that, you might want to contact Country Sampler. This was a fabulous gift. I don't get a lot of gifts, and I'm fine with that because I don't think anybody owes me a gift for doing videos. No, you don't. But I got some 40 count paper bark. This is both from the wonderful Fox and Rabbit people, and a piece of hog bristle. One of the reasons I got these is I had contacted them about their Dutch Beauty sampler that was behind them in one of their videos. Because you can buy threads in the dark version and the light version. Maybe I'll get that out in one of my sampler ones next time. Anyway, I just asked what linen she had used, and she said, oh, we'll send you a piece of linen for that. I was like, oh my gosh, that is just like so generous. The conversation was in the summer, and I never gave it another thought, but obviously she kept it on her radar, because here she sent me a fat half of hog bristle and a large piece of paper bark. I love both of them. They're wonderful. So Fox and Rabbit is definitely, I don't know if you'd call them up and coming, because I think they've been around a while, but they have some very popular linens and great colors, and I highly recommend that if you have a local needlework shop, wherever you can get it, that you try using some Fox and Rabbit linens. And then they also sent me, unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate, but they sent me their retreat piece from Plum Street. She told me that I could jump in on the Zoom call, but we were gone that whole weekend doing stuff with my husband's daughter and her husband and family. So I just wasn't able to jump on there. I really had wanted to, but I love this. It's called Spring Moon. It was part of the Fox and Rabbit retreat piece. It was a Zoom retreat. And then some of their wonderful thread drops. Fabulous. I also got my scattered seed. This is a club. This is the next one. I'm not sure what the name of this club was, but it was the 2021 Pray for Peace. I love how they, who wants to even open that? Not me. Obviously, because I haven't done any of them. I got a piece of Seraphim I ordered from Victorian Rose Needleworks. Seraphim Prairie Grass. Great color. It's a very brownish, grayish, tannish. Doesn't that like, doesn't that describe it just great? Anyway, great color. I ordered from Hoop and Frame the latest. This one's humongous. It's the stitch count is like 500 by 300 and something. It's Maria Vincenza Larica, 1837. Love this. Someday when I finish 6 red alphabets and 7 red alphabets and Louisa Coulamore and Harriet Salt, all of these will go somewhere in my house. I don't know where. And I didn't order any linen because obviously I have plenty of linen, but I got the Soie d'Alger threads for that. And I got that from Hoop and Frame. And then I got a wonderful gift from Thread Milk Designs. This is Lori Wilson. You need to check her out. She has the wonderful little thread milk drops. They remind me so much, and I'm sure this is what they're designed from, but the little bottle caps that you used to get from milk or cream that just kind of sat down and had a little tab and you could pull them off. They were like cardboard. And she has designed her thread drops like that. And a needle minder, wonderful card. This is her For the Bowl series, so this is Halloween. Thank you, Lori. This was very sweet. This is Turkey Tavern. I need to do all of these because I think I mentioned last time I don't have very many Thanksgiving ones. And then this is Christmas. And I especially want to do that tree right here. So these might go on my Christmas future list. I ordered this from Not Forgotten Farm. It's called Basket of Cheer. See, I see it on the screen, it's backwards, so it's hard to read it. By Not Forgotten Farm. Good cheer. Love that one. I found out Maggie Bononomy had a few of these books left. There's a couple people that are doing these kind of as a wool along. Prims on Greenway, Lisa. A couple other people. And it's a book of days. And you make a book that you can record fun stuff. There's a picture of Maggie's. I just love this. My trouble is I want these and I want to make them, but then I don't want to write them. It's a mental thing. Then, because I sent somebody a small quilt, instead of just sending me a thank you card, which I'm bad about. She sent me a project bag. Thank you, Kathy. That was way over the top. And inside was this wonderful thread. I love these thread holders. When I'm doing a project and I have extra, you know, thread and then place for needle in the middle. Very kind. Way over the top with cute musical fabric on the inside. Thank you, Kathy. That was way cool. Okay, so then there were a couple people, floss tube people, that have mentioned needle and flax. She dyes linen. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna check her out. So I placed an order for a piece of her linens. Now, I haven't even opened this because it's just so fabulous. Keep it pristine. Needle and flax. I will put it in the drop down box, but it's just needleandflax.com. She has her own website. It's not Etsy. So I ordered a fat half. This is a very, very nice tan neutral. This particular one is called Dolly Madison. This is 40 count, fat half. I ordered this and she has a little blurb on here. It's very interesting. She loves history. Her name is Rachel and she is the owner and proprietor of Needle and Flax. Wonderful, wonderful linen. So she also sent me a card, and in the card she said, I've so enjoyed your floss tube, so here's a little special gift. She also sent me a piece of Thornfield, a fat quarter, which is lighter, but has those tan overtones. I love it. Thank you, Rachel. Now, not only does she have wonderful linens, she also has started doing floss tube. So I think she has 3. I've binged them, and I'm gonna binge them again. You could tell the first one she's nervous, but please don't watch my first one. Lord have mercy. That was like awful. Anyway, everybody's nervous their first one. If you're not, you probably should be. Because when you're just looking at yourself and talking, it's a little weird. Anyway, she's done 3. She loves samplers. Her taste is a lot like mine. She loves Scarlet Letter. She's done some fabulous samplers, and she said she's an eclectic decorator as far as her house goes, but very interesting. And we've had a few conversations via direct message, so I'm really enjoying watching her. So Needle and Flax is also her floss tube, as well as her linen company. So check her out and place an order. She's one person, and I think we forget to realize that these people that dye linen have to get the base fabric first. So they have to place an order. She uses Weigart, so it has to come from Germany. I know Fox and Rabbit has told many tales about their different episodes with shipments lost, damage, etc. With Zweigart. So they're not only ordering what we like, which is 36 or 40, or what I like, they're also ordering 28 through 46, or maybe even 56. Anyway, all that to say, you know, we have to be patient. They're one person dying. I mean, and that's not their entire life. You know, they have kids, they have activities, time with family. You know, there's a lot of things that go into that. So be willing to wait. And I think her estimated ship date's now like 3 to 4 weeks. But the more people that mention her on FlossTube, the more orders she's going to get. So it could increase, but be patient. So one more thing I'm going to talk about, and that's Christmas Future. I know, without a doubt, I will not finish all these in 2 weeks. But I'm going to show you some of the things that I am considering starting. This is, and I also have 50 whips. Yeah. So I think I mentioned before in January, I like to do start to finish a monogamous piece, preferably something I haven't, it's not a whip, although I may consider doing a whip this January, but I like a piece I can start. No, the 1st of January, I'm going to start the Elizabeth Isles, which is the Scarlet Letter, Laura's Big Birthday Sal. E-Y-E-L-S? E-Y-E-L-E-S? Elizabeth Isles from the Scarlet Letter. I mentioned it a couple times in the past. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to start on January 1st, but I probably won't stitch on that more than a couple days. And then I'm going to do a monogamous piece. And if it takes me into February, that's fine. I just want to have one that I finish completely. But anyway, this could be one of them. I don't know, or I may start this before Christmas. This was a country sampler kit, red and green carnation sampler. This one I may have shown last time or the time before. This is Santa's Sleigh Ride by Chessie and Me, and I do have the sled or sleigh. That was also a kit from Country Sampler. Tin Roof is the linen, and I have a piece of wool to put on the back for that. So that's a possibility. I've mentioned this a bunch of times, this for sure, and I saw my daughter, she has it out already. O Tannenbaum by Brenda Gervais. Have the box, just need to sit down and stitch all of those. Once I get my gifts finished, which will probably be Christmas Eve day, I might be able to start one of these. This is Gathering the Greens. I think Nicole is stitching on this one. It's beautiful. And this one is kitted. It's kitted with 36 count Confederate gray, but I may change it. I don't know. I kind of like to do it on 40. We'll see. The Bells of Christmas. I know Brenda's finished one of these. I got this kitted, complete with the bells. The rest are some of these Brenda Gervais ones that are kitted that I want to do. Cup of Christmas Cheer. And Winter's Day Visit. This one, Merry Old Soul. Also, I have that kitted. This is one that I did in the past. I think I mentioned this last time, so it's still on my radar. Merry Christmas. I gave it as a gift. I want to do it on a darker linen this time. Country Sampler Winter Tidings. Love that girl pulling her sleigh. And then the next one, these two, this one I think I'll start right after Christmas. It's the January wordplay. Am I showing you that correctly? No, this way. January wordplay. I have that one kitted. And also December wordplay I'd like to do. I'd like to do all the word plays. So, 59 minutes and 4 seconds. I guess I could sit and just blab, so I'd have a full hour. But that would be sort of silly. So anyway, I will be back either next Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'm not sure which. We usually watch church online, but we need to start going back because I miss being in church on Sundays. But I could do it Saturday. We'll see. Tomorrow, I'm so excited. My son just rolls his eyes. Every year at his high school, which is also where my grandkids go, which is also where my daughter graduated from and works. It's a pretty big Christian school here in Jacksonville. Anyway, he played baseball. They won state that year. It was very exciting. Then he played college ball, and he was done in like, I don't know, 2012 or something. So every year for the past probably 5 or 6 years, as long as it's not raining, it's supposed to be 82 today. Woo. Anyway, distraction. Every year in December, the coach of the baseball team has an alumni game where the alumni come back. Anybody that wants to play that formerly played baseball can come back and play against the current varsity team. It's so fun. So last year, my son played like, I don't know, 6 innings. And so I made sure he knew about it, because my daughter, since she works at the school, she knows all the schedules and stuff. And so I said, "You're going to play, right, Josh?" He's like, "Yeah, maybe 1 inning." And I'm like, "1 inning?" He's like, "Mom, I don't want to be that sore, and my shoulder is not going to be able to handle it." So we'll see. Hopefully he'll play at least 1 inning and I get to see him play again. So it's exciting for me. I was a baseball mom. Now my daughter's a baseball mom. It's just, Florida, you play year-round baseball. My grandson's in a tournament. He has a game tonight. So people don't understand, but that's the way it is in Florida. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. And next week, I have a couple quilts to do that I kind of promised people I would finish. But other than that, I won't be quilting again, except on my own quilts. I've finished 2 of my own quilts and have about 4 more to do. So hopefully I can get to those in the next couple weeks. And just looking forward to enjoying the holidays. So I hope you are too. I hope you'll always remember the reason for the season and what a joyous time it is. So I will see you in a little over a week, Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. So love ya. Bye.